And right now to our dynamic family interview area we go. And here's Joni Smith.
Well, thank you guys so much here with the parent family. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thanks for making the trip.
Hi.
There's a good friend of mine. Hello. Seeing all kinds of people here. You have a very special friend. When you were talking to me just a few minutes ago, that you've known for a long time.
13 years.
A special friend for 13 years. Got on an airplane from North Carolina?
Yep. No, Charleston, South Carolina.
South Carolina, to be here with your family today.
Correct.
That is really cool.
Clap for P-Funk. Say yay.
Yay! You know, and that's family support, man. That is great. And I bet there's another reason why he came, probably to celebrate a birthday tomorrow.
Yep, Taryn turns 4 tomorrow.
And I understand that Taryn was actually grilling your friend and asking a lot of questions.
Right.
What were some of the questions she was asking?
Well, she wanted to know if he had a cat at his house, which was a no.
That was a no.
Dog at your house?
Was
no.
that a no? Okay.
Do you have a fireplace? No.
No.
Do you have a Christmas tree at your house? No. So then she decided he wasn't worth talking to anymore.
You got to work up your game. There you go. Got to work up your game. Thank you for being with us today. You were with us last year, too.
Thank you for having us.
You already have 4 calls coming in. We have a phone number at 608-784-KIDS. That's 5437. You're listening to the Radiothon, CMN Hospital's Radiothon, and we are at the main campus at Gunderson Health System. You walk through the door, not only will you see us, but there's a good chance you will hear us too, because Taryn's in the house.
Yeah.
And as her teachers say, she is Firefly? What do we call her?
Well, she's a fireball.
A fireball.
Yeah,
There
she's got a big personality.
Hey, Matt, thanks for joining us. Dad's here.
I'm here.
You are here, and we're glad about that. Liz, let's start with Taryn's story. Are you okay with that? Can we
Yes.
start? Okay. Tell us the story of Taryn.
So Taryn was born at 24 weeks, 1 pound 8 ounces. We spent 98 days here at the oh my goodness, in the NICU here at Gunderson.
So that's over 3 months.
Yep.
Okay.
One of our NICU nurses is on the phone bank right now. We spent a lot of time with Miss Brittany over here.
Miss Brittany!
And then Miss Courtney was our occupational therapist in
There's
the
Miss
NICU.
Courtney. She's up
And then
there
we
too.
followed up with Courtney in clinic afterwards in outpatient therapy. Taryn had a long struggle in the NICU. We almost lost her at one point, so she...
When you say you almost lost her, what was going on?
Her lungs were not developing as they should. We were already on maximum amount of oxygen. We had to do a type of medication that can cause a lot of issues, cerebral palsy. I mean, they tell you with this medication, it's kind of a coin toss, I guess is the best way to put it. But we were at the point where we had to do it or she wasn't going to survive.
Now, you've had, Taryn has older brother?
And older sister.
And older sister. And those pregnancies were no issues, and then all of a sudden, Miss Taryn comes early?
Right. We had no indication. I had actually been in the hospital the day before I had her because I felt like something wasn't right, and they said everything was fine, sent me home, no restrictions. I even went to work the next morning for 3 hours before my work sent me in to the clinic here, and I was dilated to 7, and they were rushing me to labor and delivery.
And entered the world?
From the time I checked in at the clinic, they checked my check-in time to her birth date was 61 minutes.
That wasn't a lot of time.
Nope, she came fast.
Were you prepared at home? Probably not.
Nope,
Probably
not even
not.
a little bit.
How would you be? You weren't expecting an arrival for 3 months?
I'd been 4 months.
4
She
months.
was 4 months, 16 weeks early, yep. Thank you. I had been telling Matt for weeks that I felt like we were behind, that we needed to get a name picked, we needed to start shopping for stuff, and he kept telling me I was crazy. Like, we've got 4, almost 5 months, we're good. And I didn't believe him. It got so bad he even had some of the servers at his work where he was working at the time make up a list of names for me so I would calm down. So
that's how you were helping out. You chose to come up with the names while Mom's over here trying to pack bags and put cribs together, and your job was to go pick out names.
Gotta
go.
do what I can to help.
That's right. You got to do what you can.
I knew it wasn't him that put it together, even though he tried to play it off, that it was him when he handed me the name and his dog's name was on it.
Okay. You got to love that sense of humor, don't you? Well, and you probably needed a sense of humor, but it was probably hard to draw upon. So you lived here. Did you live at the hospital?
No, we had 2 kids at home.
Oh, okay, on top of it.
We lived in Galesville at the time. So, I mean, it's a 45-minute drive. We tag teamed. I went to back to work 5 days after I had her, because I knew I'd be able to take maternity leave when she came home. And sorry that echo so bad. I'm trying.
That's okay. No. And if you need to take a break, let us know.
Yep. Nope. We're okay. So I would go in the morning before work, and then I would take my lunch break and come back to the NICU, and then I would come after work, and Matt would get the kids home from school, and then I would go home, and then Matt would head down to the hospital, and then he'd come home in the middle of the night, and then I'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and come back down again. We wanted the kids to have as normal of a life as possible when Taryn was in the NICU. So that was really hard to juggle.
Was it hard for you to leave her when you would come home? Was that tough?
You can't imagine. We had a lot of, 2 a.m. calls. She's crashing. We need to re-intubate her. You guys need to get to the hospital. We're not sure if she's going to pull through this time. The staff here was amazing. They really were.
Well, you need peace of mind, and it's really hard to get that when you were faced with one crisis after another.
Right. You live in a constant state of fear when the phone rings. Like, you never know what's going to happen.
How were things when you headed home as a family and everybody's together? How'd things go?
It was so fast. Like, it was so fast. It was one day she was hooked up to all the monitors and the CPAP equipment, and she's not breathing on her own. To the next thing, you come in and the CPAP machine's in the corner, and she's breathing on room air. And I don't think people understand the first time you walk into the room and she's only on the wall oxygen, so just the nasal cannula in her nose, and you walk in and you have to have a nurse give you your baby every time you want to hold her. And you get to walk in and they're in an open crib finally, and for the first time you can just go in a room and pick up your baby. And
Probably the best feeling ever.
She was almost 3 months old when that happened. So, yeah, it was pretty awesome.
So you came home.
We didn't come home on any monitors, which was terrifying because, 2 weeks before she couldn't breathe on her own.
Right, exactly.
And then we started having issues with her eyes. She had retinopathy of prematurity. That's
a mouthful, isn't it?
Yep, where the blood vessels in her eyes were growing. Typically, they grow out and around, and for Taryn, they started growing in, and they were pulling the retina off the outside of her eye. And she had to have surgeries. Before she was 2, she's had 10 surgeries on her eyes. So if you can imagine all that time in the NICU, and then you come home, and then it's one surgery after another surgery trying to save her vision. Her providers here at Gunderson have been amazing. We had Dr. Chappelle at first, and now we're with Dr. Nash. But yeah, 10 surgeries before she was 2. And this last year, Taryn, Dr. Nash and I had the conversation. You know it's coming when you have so many vision issues and such high prescriptions. But we finally sat down, and Taryn was, officially declared legally blind. So that was
a lot.
Yeah. But, she's here. She's wonderful. Like, she has such a personality. I'm just cracking up at these people trying to keep her distracted over here because
they're doing a great job.
They are. Yep. She's all over the place. But I didn't think I was going to cry at that because we've been through so much, and we're just sitting there and we were talking, and, and I'm like, so, and he's like, yeah, Taryn is legally blind. She'll never be able to drive. But
allegedly.
But we he talked, he said he was so thankful that we live in the world we live in today. Self-driving technology is just around the corner. We have all of, mass transportation now, and Uber and Lyft, and So he goes, I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to stop her from being exactly what she wants to be.
We are going to make sure people realize that the number is 608-784-KIDS. That's 5437. We're 8 calls into this already. And I'd like to revisit our conversation that we had here because you brought along some of Taryn's glasses. So
Right.
explain to us what you brought along today.
So insurance doesn't consider glasses a medical necessity for Taryn. So we have to pay out of pocket for all of her vision equipment that she has. We started, this is probably her 3rd pair of glasses, but these are what's called lenticular lenses. They have what looks like the egg yolk on the top of it. And you can feel exactly like how heavy those are.
They're very heavy, and you're right. It does look like there's a clear egg yolk on top of each of the lenses. And this is for a little teeny tiny face.
Right.
To wear, and little ears,
and they're too big, and you can see the they're called stay puts on them right here that are supposed to hook around her ears.
Mm-hmm.
And we were told this is the best that they had. This is the best they could do, and I was like, I don't accept that for my daughter. Like, there has to be. These are plastic heavy lenses. She never wanted to wear them. So I had a lot of the Mommy and Me groups on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and I posted in there. I'm like, I don't know what we can do, but I don't feel like this is the best for her, and I want the best for her. And a wonderful lady out of Oakdale, Minnesota, messaged me, and she said, an optician. I'm an optician, and I own a boutique, an eye styles boutique up here in Oakdale, Minnesota. She goes, and I have 2 specialty labs, and I'm going to pit them against each other, and we're going to see what they can come up with. So we went through Children's Miracle Network, and we got a significant grant through them. And this is what they came up with. Half of the prescription is on the back of the lens, and the other half is on the front of the lens. And this was created specifically for Taryn. They're high index, and they're tomato frames. They're wonderful frames. And these lenses are $700 a pair for these glasses. They're very expensive, and they're absolutely wonderful. They're lightweight. She wears them all the time. She never wants to take them off.
There's a huge difference between how these feel compared to the
other
first
pair.
ones. So because you entered this message group,
Mm-hmm.
you found a resource that you never knew
Right.
would have existed
Right.
because the mommy and you wanted something better.
Right. Taryn was before she got the new glass, and those are her full prescription. These are not her full prescription even. They couldn't do them high enough. So these glasses didn't even give her full prescription. Those are her full prescription. So it gives her the most optimal vision that's possible for what vision she has.
In order for you to be able to accomplish this task, you needed some help, and you
Right.
needed some financial
Mm-hmm.
help, and comfortable about asking. You're comfortable about asking or not?
It's never easy to ask for help, but when it comes to your kids and you want the best for them, and the people here at Gunderson Children's Miracle Network are phenomenal. They're friendly. They never make you feel bad for asking. They're more than willing. They're more than willing to take the extra steps to make sure you have everything you need. Taryn, before her new glasses, was very introverted. She was scared, like this carpet here. She would have been screaming and crying and wouldn't have let us put her feet down on it, and would have been it would have been a very, very hard for her to adapt to what was going on in here. Miss Courtney up in the corner over there worked a lot with Taryn on getting used to new flooring and the different. But once we got the new glasses, her personality just exploded. Like, she was this flower that just blossomed.
Courtney, you did a good job because she's running all over the place. So you excelled in that, absolutely. She has absolutely no problems running around here, and that is something to celebrate. Another celebration, 8 calls have come through at 608-784-KIDS, 5437. You're listening to the Radiothon, and we are here with the parent family, hearing all about Taryn, who is going to be celebrating a birthday tomorrow.
Yep, Taryn's going to be 4 tomorrow,
4
which I
years
can't even
old.
believe.
Dad, are you baking the birthday cake?
I will not be.
You're not? Because you're kind of a culinary kind of genius, I hear.
Dad hung up his culinary cape and decided he wanted to spend more time at home with the family.
Well, there you go. Who's doing the cake? It's a strawberry cake? Or does
Grandma,
she know? Does she know
she
that?
knows,
Oh,
yep.
okay. All right.
Grandma's doing the cake.
Grandma's doing the
And
cake.
so it's going to be strawberry cake with strawberry filling, and then Taryn wanted pink frosting.
Well, of course she did.
Yep.
Yeah, and I see today she decided that a tutu would be a good thing to wear, which she looks adorable in.
Right. It was either that or tie-dye, and the tie-dye shirt was too big, so we compromised.
So you compromised. It was a great compromise. More calls are coming in at 608-784-KIDS 5437. What's next on the horizon?
So Taryn just had her final NICU follow-up this Tuesday. She's doing really well. We'll be following closely again with Gunderson Specialty Clinics here. There is some concern for autism with Taryn. So over the next school year, they're going to be following her very closely to see if she's on the spectrum, and if she is, where she falls on it.
That sounds like a process.
Yeah. Yep. More appointments. Lots of appointments.
Okay.
Always lots of appointments.
Okay. You know, we have another call. We have lots of calls. We have 9 that have come in now. Let's hear it for that. It's 608-784-KIDS 5437. 784-5437. Lots of appointments in your,
Right, yep.
You never just sit back and say, we're just done.
We try. I mean, it's hard. I have multiple sclerosis myself, so like we battle with that. And then, Taryn, we try not to focus too much on Taryn for everything, because we have 3 kids in our family, and we want to make sure that all of the kids feel equal. But it's kind of hard sometimes when Taryn's. There's days. I mean, Tuesday I was here. I was off on Tuesday with Taryn, but I was here at Gunderson for another. We had another 6-hour appointment on Tuesday. I was here.
A 6-hour appointment.
Right. Yep. And I work here at Gunderson, and every day I'm, if I have a day off, like I'm still here because of, either my appointments or Taryn's appointment. So,
we're going to shoot for 12 calls. We're at 9. I think we can do it. I think we can. It's 608-784-KIDS 5437. That is the phone number to call for Miss Taryn, a 4-year-old tomorrow. Now, she has on a pair of glasses now. How long typically do a pair of glasses and a prescription, how long do they last?
We update it yearly, and we usually get, when we update, we have 3 pairs of frames now, 3 sets of frames, and then sunglasses that she has too. So we do, usually in June, we update the prescription, and then we get them in about, I'd say, September, because it takes a while to manufacture these lenses.
Well, I'm sure it does. It's not
Right.
something that you can just run down to the store and buy.
No.
There again, help from Children's Miracle Network. Had you guys heard of Children's Miracle Network before your process started?
We saw, they have the little bins that you can put the pennies in.
Yeah.
That spin down, but we didn't know the extent of what they do. When we were in the NICU, we live 45 minutes away, and so gas, with me being off of work for a while, and then, driving back and forth, we got gas cards. They provided us with food vouchers when we were staying here, and that's just a huge, it's a huge relief when you're here and you don't have to worry about spending money that you don't have, on food and gas. And
Well, we have some more people that have some more money, because now we're up to 10 calls. We only have 2 to go. 608-784-KIDS. Stays local. We had Dr. Marr here a few minutes ago. He was explaining that 100% of your donation goes to the kids, does
Right.
not pay for the administration fee. That is handled by Gunderson Health System. So
Right.
100% of what you give somehow is going to turn back into families, whether it's for glasses or camps. We've heard a lot about camps.
Right.
Music therapy seems to be huge, and it's costly. It costs parents a lot of money, and a lot of times not in the budget. Just like you were saying,
Well, when insurance doesn't consider, her medical equipment a medical necessity, and you have to fight the insurance companies, and then you're at the point where either you pay for it out of pocket, or the little vision she has, she doesn't get to have. I mean, CMN's been a miracle for us. Like, we couldn't have done what we do without them.
And they say put your money where the miracles are, and you've seen it.
Right.
You guys have seen the miracle. You're living the miracle. But for you all to make this trip, to have your buddies fly in to support you and be with you, that's how you guys are giving back. telling Taryn's story. It's not easy. I can see it. I can see what's happening here. It's not easy. It chokes you up, and I know it does. And that's not the purpose. The purpose of this is to share and give an understanding where your money goes to.
Right.
And so you're at home trying to figure out if you're going to make that phone call. What do you think
Where
you'd
you
say?
pipe up.
What would you
Dad's turn to
say?
talk.
Matt, it's your turn to talk. What would you say?
What do you say? I guess I would tell everybody out there that, there are people in this world who might not be as fortunate as others. They still deserve the same benefits. Just because Taryn can't see doesn't mean that she shouldn't be afforded the best possible health care, the best possible equipment, and organizations like the Miracle Network really make it possible for those families who might not have that extra $700-800 to throw out there on lenses to be able to give their children the best. Don't you guys want to be able to give the children of this world the best? If you can afford a couple bucks, give them a call.
Amen, brother. We have a new club membership this year. It's $10 a month for a year, and it's called the 120 Club Member. And $10 a month, it may not seem like a lot of money. However, to some, the budgets are tight. However, that is probably something that can be done by looking at your budget and thinking, okay, maybe we don't need to, buy
That's
that.
2 lattes a week.
It is. It is. What department do you work at here
I
at
work
the
for
hospital?
pulmonary. I'm the pulmonary scheduler here at Gunderson.
So when our Dave Kennedy was wearing the vest,
Oh, I was laughing so hard.
did you know exactly what was going on there?
Yeah, we have these little old gals that come into our respiratory therapists here at Gunderson are amazing. And our respiratory therapists here at Gunderson are amazing. But they got these little ladies that they have to put in that big vest, and it just shakes them all over the place. And everybody here at Gunderson tries so hard. The patients always come first, and it's a great organization to work for.
Well said. Now, I know I see some excitement going on. I haven't seen anything yet, John, on the tote board. We're waiting to find out because you guys were all excited over there. Do we have some more calls that came in that we just don't know about? Okay, we're going to update you here in a second. We'll find out. It's 608-784-KIDS 5437. That's the phone number to call. More excitement is happening. We're waiting to find out. And we will tell you in just a second. We got it. We hit the 12.
Yay! Thank you, everybody.
Yay!
More cowbell.
Awesome, you guys. I think what we're going to do is let you prepare and go home and get ready for the big birthday party tomorrow.
Right.
Does
Taryn,
that
can you
sound
come
like
over
a
here,
good-
please?
Taryn, can you come over?
Taryn, come
we
here.
want to talk to you just one second before we say goodbye. She needs to come over by Mama. Just 1 second. So you guys help her. There she
Miss
comes.
Joni?
Yep, she's coming.
Could I just take an opportunity to thank everybody out there listening, our friends, our family, everybody who's donated or considered doing it. It's a great cause. It takes a lot of people for this to all come together, and I personally appreciate everybody out there. Thank you so much.
Very good. Very well said. All right, Taryn, you ready?
Thank you, everybody.
She said, "Thank you, everybody."
Oh, thank you, Taryn. Family, you're great. Please stay in touch. We want to find out what's going on in your lives, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. You're listening to the Children's Miracle Network Hospital's Radiothon. Put your money where the miracles are. A service of the La Crosse Media Group.
All right. Boy, that was great. Thank you, Joni. Appreciate it. 244. Let's keep the phone calls just a rolling in, shall we? Absolutely right. 784-KIDS, 784-5437 on our Versity phone bank. Manned this hour by the NICU team, and they are rocking the house over there. The NICU team is doing such a great job. Yep. Awesome. Our broadcast today brought to us in part by Hot Springs Spas and Pools. We got some incredible miracle makers, too. Oral Surgery Clinic of La Crosse and RE/MAX First Choice Realty, all pulling together to help families just like this. This is what it's all about, and that's why we need your phone call, 608-784-KIDS, 784-5437 on the Children's Miracle Network Hospitals Radiothon.